Hey, what's crack-a-lackin', y'all? So I'm on this commercial building, and I would have to say this is probably about 25 feet up to those windows. So the Trad 12 only reaches not even to the bottom of that window frame. So this is a perfect time to put these sections into place. See, I normally come here, I just do the bottoms once a month in and out. And today she asked me to go up to the second floor. And I did the inside already. These are wind out windows. So now I have to do the outside. So I've never used this Trad pack on past the second floor. In my storefronts, almost the second floor, but it didn't have a problem. But I'm gonna hook this up. I haven't used, since I changed the design in this Trad pack, I haven't used it on the second floor like that. And I got extra hose now, and I'm gonna hook it up and I'm gonna test it out. And I think it'll go up to the third floor, to tell you the truth, my Trad pack, and maybe even the fourth. But I don't have anything to do. I don't even have a pole that goes up 4 stories, so a 30-foot pole, I would have to test that out one day when I get something on the third floor. But we're gonna test this out today, and I'm gonna use the high flyer on this. So let's get cracking. All right, so I'm using the 14-inch high flyer and my Trad 20. Oh, now when I was extending this thing out, even though it says 20, I do believe from the looks of it, it will get a good portion of third floor work. Because most people, when they extend their arms all the way out, it's taller than 6 feet. So you will get like 26 feet, you know, that pole will end up being. If it's a 20-foot pole, with you holding the pole with your arms up, you can assume you're going to get another 5 to 6 feet, maybe more for some. So that's almost 30 feet. Thereabouts. What I do notice that I have a 4-section aluminum etare, or is it Unger? It's twist lock one. It has blue collars. Some of you are familiar with that pole. I either got it at Home Depot. I said Lowe's and Home Depot all in one word. Isn't that crazy? Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, it's Home Depot that has Unger stuff, and Lowe's has etare stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so what you see here is I'm scrubbing the window. I'm scrubbing 2 at a time. The good thing about working the way that I'm working is that you have a multi-function tool that will allow you, if the window starts drying up, to be able to mop without collapsing the pole down and switching tools and dunking your mop all over again with all that water running down the side of the building. You won't have that with none of this. And if the windows are extremely dirty, you will have stuff from the windows, depending on how soiled it is, running onto the siding. And if the siding is cement, white cement, you will see that dirt on the running down. It's not a real big issue or a big deal, but we're talking about working smart. And this is all just working smart in many, many different ways. One being, if you're polling by yourself, you either have to be extremely fast and not make any mistakes, because if you make one mistake, pole work, you could forget about going back. All right, because it'll be too dry on you. You know, so the advantages I have in my setup is that when you have a small job like this with not that many windows, you could throw that trad pack on. And in the beginning, I operated this unit by univalve, which is something no one that I know of has ever done. And then I switched to a wireless setup. And the wireless setup is so much better because you have a push button that you can access water when you need it in the flick of your thumb, you know. So not only that, it's good for inner city window cleaners, you know, where you have to do a lot of walking and you don't want to lug a bucket around. Now, what I'm about to tell you this next, if you're not good with straight pulls, you could potentially leave water where you started your first pull at the top of the frame. And then the other thing you have to worry about is, you see, I use the bottom of the frame to engage the swivel dual pivot action. Now, see that? You see that? If you watch closely, I tapped 3 times with the squeegee on a slant as I'm going to the top. Does that make sense to y'all? Let me repeat that again. Let's see if I do it on this one. So when you make your first pull, you gotta feather correctly first of all. But the key to not leaving that line down the center of the glass on your second pull, all right, see? You see how I feather? Bring it down flush. Instead of bringing it down, you swing it over. And then on your way up, you tap 3 times. As you see that's the key. That's the secret. I call that the 3-tap technique. That ensures that on your last pull, you won't leave that line. Now, you do have to tilt the squeegee the opposite way that you would normally think that the water would run, because you're going down. The squeegee has to be tilted towards the ground, not so much where it's going to run down. But y'all will understand when y'all start to get more into feathering. Here I'm using the little 8-inch modded water fed, the one that I made with my gliding strips. That was a great residential one that I've used on the insides. And most residential, I would use pure water Wagtail now. I don't do any traditional cleaning on any exterior. I do water-fed squeegee, and very rarely would I do a water-fed brush. But I have been known to, particularly on real filthy French panes that hasn't been done in a while, because you need to scrub the framework really well.